Good morning. So we meet again. Today we meet about the learning methods. Yes, we talked about that during our training, and this is now the time to see all the possible scale of the methods, how to interact with the class. Of course, it's not a final, it's not a full. Full is because you may find and develop by yourself and think and create and whatever. So why do we speak about all the methods? This is because what result do we want to have in the class? Either we want to have that they remember, that they understand, and they pass the exam. If that's enough, then it's all fine to have just a lecture, just the demonstration and a nice PowerPoint. Because in order to have them memorizing, understanding, we do not have to make them doing. It's enough to have, without any interaction, any class size, just a presentation. But we want them that they will be creative, thinking, making decisions, analyzing, applying everything. That's why we have to make them work, think, discuss, and so on. How to do it? There are many ways. Do not invent yourself. Use what's invented and use what's thought already. Okay, we start from the learning method that we know. Lecture, simple. You stand, talk, they sit, listen, sleep, take notes, and so on. We give assignments. Okay, at home, you learn this, you read about this, you do this and that and that. Project. Okay, you as a group of students, let's say 3, 4, 5, at home, until next lecture, you have to do, for example, draw fueling system. They do projects and they present next time. Another, action planning. Action planning is, okay, imagine that you are in situation A or B. You are a group of 4 that you are flying in the cockpit. And what would be your actions after crash, for example? A, B, C, D, and they have to make a plan. What would they do? This is, of course, after they gain the theory, the presentation, the lecture, then they already can start planning. Learning contracts. Learning contracts can be done between 2 students. You help me, I help you. Of course, our as instructor's role is to give them a task. Now you all have to make a contract. What and how will you help to learn each other? Tutorial, this is reading books, CBTs and so on. Individualized instruction. Okay, we do this briefing, debriefing, and helping one student to analyze and explaining and so on. Basically, most of those methods, what are here, they already used and everything's fine with them. Field trips, we go to hangar and see everything, what's there. Workshops, we work in the class in order to develop something, in order to create something. Give them a task and they analyze and they think, what would they do and so on. For example, they have to create the procedure, what would happen, what should be done in the situation A or B. And when they think of the procedure, then you analyze their answers, their procedures, and compare according with the official ones, what is right, what should be done differently, and explain. Why is it better that they think of the procedures, for example, instead of you just tell them? Because if they make a mistake, you will know it, and you will know how they think, you will know what they lack, and you will be able to explain them. But if we just explain, and they have a gap in their mind, in their knowledge, in their theory, and so on, that comes from previous lessons that maybe were boring, and maybe were not effective enough, and they miss something, they don't remember, they don't understand. So of course they will tell, yes, I agree with you, your procedure all's fine, but it will not fit in their mind because they lack something. And when they do it, you have a feedback about their knowledge. Case study. You give them described situation. There was a flight from A to B, something happened, and you have a situation. Okay, analyze it. What were the reasons? What would you do and so on? Checklists, like we do in our training. Okay, this is a checklist of the instructor's behavior. What do we analyze? We analyze the body language, we analyze the structure, we analyze the methods, and so on. This is a checklist to analyze each other better. Computer-assisted learning, CBT, you know it. This is actually what we do now. You sit in front of your laptop and you see me and you see the PowerPoint and we talk and you will use it in order to create your lesson plans. Demonstration. Demonstration, it goes along with the presentation, but one thing is presentation on PowerPoint, and PowerPoint usually it shuts people off. Okay, we do not have to do anything, we just listen and absorb the information. But when you demonstrate, you take a marker, a pen, and say, okay, imagine this is an aircraft, and you show it in the air. And now it flies, it takes an angle like this. Imagination is turned on in students' mind. They start imagining, they see not the airplane model or the marker or flip or something that you hold in your hand. They see the real flight in their imagination, and then they remember better, of course. Let's move on. Experiential learning. Doing, reflecting what we did, analyzing what was good, should be better, and using next time in a better way. So basically, this is a debriefing process. Sculpting, we do with our hands. This helps very much to remember things in the kinesthetical memory. We may use clay, modeling, Legos, like make an aircraft engine out of the things that you have now, out of the paper, with the scissors and a scotch. They will take all their knowledge in their little group and will try to do it as much as they know it, as much as good as they understand it. This is more or less same as drawing or explaining, but you know, drawing is one. You just draw, see, but when you sculpt, you see the 3D process. You see the image, you create it, but not you, the students, and it lays much better in their memory. Audiovisual, like filming cases, recording their talks. For example, when we learn about the communication between the aircraft and the ground, you may record their talk and they analyze, then listen to the recorded conversation and analyze what was right, what should be said in different way, what were the phrases wrong and should be better, and so on. Filming, you may film in the real situation. When they are in the simulator, you film his or her behavior and analyze what was good and what should be done differently. Role play. Role play can be when we pretend to be someone, when we pretend and we play an action that we will do in the reality. For example, one of the students become a drunk passenger who misbehaved himself, and another one is a crew member who have to deal with him. So they interact, then you film everything, analyze while showing it, and all the group make decision. That was good, that should be done better. It's not necessary to film. Just playing and analyzing what we saw is one of the best ways to learn the behavior. Simulation. Simulation is when we imagine that we are someone again. We as a group, we do not have to play. It's not like a theater now, but let's say, okay, we simulate that we are in situation A. You are the captain, you are non-flying pilot, you all are the crew members, and you are the passengers, for example, and situations like this. What happens? Do all the actions what you would do. And then we all, after the simulation, stop and analyze what was, how was it. What's the difference between role play and simulation is usually role play is done by 2-3 students and the others are observers of the play. This is a play, you see, like the theater. And simulation is when majority of the class, almost all the class, have their roles and they're all involved in the process, in the game that we as instructors create. And then we all reflect ourselves. Okay, let's move on. Drawing. Drawing, simple. You give them a task to draw something according to the topic. Draw the clouds, all the different clouds that we know, and the interaction, and so on. Icebreakers. Icebreakers is a little processes to help students refresh their mind and get their blood back to their brain. Move, jump, walk a little bit, go to the window and look at the sky for 1 minute in silence. Turn to your neighbor and smile, shake hands with 5 people, anything. Just no serious stuff here, but it have to take 1-2 minutes, and it have to be more effective. It means more active than going to coffee break or to a vending machine. Listening and observing is its combination with the role play or with the audio visual. When we see others doing something, we observe others. It can be role play in the class. It can be going to another class like we instructors do. We go to another class to observe the colleague. How is he dealing with the class? How is he using various methods, or just showing presentation? We observe and then we analyze by ourselves. Are you still alive? Not too much information. Am I not too fast? Okay, hope not. Anyway, I cannot get the feedback now. I can get. It means if something is not clear, please write me an email. It's in the end of the presentation. I'm almost on the end. Mentoring is when we combine a more experienced student with a less experienced one. And the older one and the more experienced one helps the younger one. It can be not just about the students. It's mentoring can be like pilot with lots of flying hours helps the young one. It means, okay, you, the young one, do it. Just observe on the way while we're working together. Questioning, okay, we all know it. You ask a question to the class. What do you think? What would you do? What's the right answer? But usually when we do this typical questioning, what happens? If we have 10 students in the class, we give a question. So when one starts answering, other 9, what can they do? They can continue on being in the CBTs on their laptops or in Facebook or shopping, if they want. One of the key ideas of using various methods and involving them in the process is not to allow them to do anything else, just learn. Yes, if we have very highly motivated students that they 100% are in the class, are with you in the topic, all's fine. But usually it doesn't happen. Even though we are motivated, still our mind wanders away. And the topic is very interesting. Like maybe now you are listening and looking at this presentation, at time to time your mind flows away. What is he talking now about? And you come back. But then still you miss something on the way. So questioning, we have to change it. For example, we can give instead of test, the last one, the crossword. One of the software, of course, there are lots of them. What I like is Eclipse crossword. It's for free. You can download it and you can put any questions and any text, and out of the answers, the program makes a crossword. You don't have to match the words that they would look nice. The software does it. So you put any test into the program and you get a nice crossword. Same process, same still. They get the questions, but it's a little bit gamey. And when it is gamey, it's more fun. If it's more fun, we are more relaxed. The more we are relaxed, students, the better they learn. The more stress, the more the mind is closed. So change questioning from the examination role. Okay, now I have 2 questions to the class and everybody's stressed. No, do it in some different way. And the last idea, discussion. Yes, we usually plan that we will do discussion after the presentation, somewhere in the middle of the class. But what do we mean by discussion? It means that we give a question to the class and 1 or 2 of them answers it. So it's not a discussion, it's questioning. Here are a few ways to make a discussion interesting. One of the game is a press conference. How does usually the press conference happens? There are a few experts who know something about an issue, and they go to the front and they answer the question of the journalist. So all the class pretend and play that they're the journalists now, and there are 2 people who are very, very interesting, and journalists want to get all the information from them. So you take 2 students, 1 student or 3 students, put them in the front of the class, say, now this is a game, it's not an exam, it's not about testing their knowledge and saying you are good, you are bad. This is a game. People then get more relaxed. And everybody else when they jump into the role of being a journalist, very much interested and very keen to know about something from the expert, then they start questioning, answering, and you get all the answers from the experts. More or less same as a panel discussion, the 4th I just skipped fishbowl and we'll come back to it. A panel discussion is, remember, in any conference, moderator says, and now we have a panel discussion of the 5 experts about something. The difference from a press conference is that on the panel discussion, they debate between themselves and the moderator give them questions. So moderator is an instructor. Experts, again, is anyone from the class. It can be really expert or it can be the one who knows nothing about the topic. But still, he or she will be asked to go to the panel discussion and to show what, don't tell, show what you know. We'll see how bad student you are. No. Again, this is a game. He pretends to know everything. And they discuss between themselves on the questions that you as a moderator give. And the class are observers from the conference who sees the discussion. Why do we do it? In order that student will talk about a subject that you want to teach. You see their knowledge. You raise their interest. If you see that they miss something, if you see that they give the wrong answers, then you will know what to explain. And if everything else was said right, and everybody knows it, so why to talk about that? Let's come back to fishbowl. We're almost on the end. Fishbowl, we use it when we have a bigger class, like, for example, 15. It's impossible to make a discussion between 15 people. Anyway, 3, 4, 5 maximum will talk, and the rest, anyway, will observe. But usually, who talks? The same people, the same active ones. Either they know something, either don't know, but still, it's in their behavior to talk a lot. But sometimes we want that the others will talk as well, the passive ones, the silent ones. Usually, they know a lot. So we organize the discussion. The fishbowl is that we put 3, 4, 5 people in the middle, say, now you will be the ones to discuss, and others, the remaining 10, are observers of it. But if you make a round of 5 people, put a 6th chair. That is empty. You tell it, okay, the discussion will take 5 minutes. The topic is, and you give the topic according to the subject that you teach. The 6th chair may be taken by anyone from the remaining class, from the observers. He or she may come for a few seconds, tell his opinion, give his question to the people who discuss in the center, and leave it, in order that somebody else from the students could still join the discussion. Another way to participate in discussion for all the students is to go to their representative. It means you have to divide them into little groups. Okay, you 3 passive ones will help your friend, the one that is in the middle. Other 3 ones, you'll help another student. Other 3 ones, you'll help this student. So they're little teams, like support teams. 2, 3 students in the back, they may support his friend who is in the center to discuss. They may come to him and whisper something in the air, give the right answer, give an idea, give the question that he would give to other students in the center, in the fishbowl. And this is the way how they talk. This is the way how all of them are involved, but in organized way. Let's move on. Brainstorming. Brainstorming is the process when we give a topic and ask them to give as many ideas, as many possible answers as possible. On the process, we do not discuss, we do not analyze what was wrong, right. We write everything on the board, on the flip chart, all it is. If somebody starts discussing, yes, but I don't agree, we stop him and say, yes, please, we'll discuss afterwards. Do you have any other ideas? So more. All the even stupid ideas have to be written. If nobody says anything stupid, you tell it. Any nonsense, and you write it. Why? In order that if some student have any idea, but he is not very sure, maybe it's not right, I don't know, so I will wait. Maybe I will keep to myself because I'm scared. What will others think about me? Am I right, wrong? But when he sees that stupid idea, like drinking beer in the cockpit is fine. If that was written, everybody laughs, so his idea will not be as stupid as this one. So it's fine to tell it as well. And then we analyze, of course, afterwards, but we do not mix it. We do not mix brainstorming with discussion, because discussion kills the brainstorming, the generating the ideas and the possible answers. 6 are remaining. Roundtable. We take a thing, a talking stick, and send it around, that everybody have to tell anything on the given question. The answer can be, I don't know, I have no idea, but usually people have ideas. This method helps everybody to be involved. Because again, when we make a just not organized discussion, 3 4 active one talks. The silent ones, they do not have a space. And the round table, passing the talking stick, is a space for everyone to share his thought. Buzz group, simple and quick. You talk about something, explain, and time to time we need a break to digest the information, to give them a time to absorb, to understand. So you give it, okay, now you two, we put them into pairs of 2 or 3. Just share what do you think? How do you understand the subject? Whatever question. That they would simply 10, 30 seconds per each to share it. So total, the process takes 1-2 minutes. But in the groups, you do not have to present your outcome, just share ideas. And then you can continue on with the presentation, explanation, or any other methods. Interview. Interview, we use it when we have students of a different level. Some are very experienced ones, and some are less experienced. So it's very good that you make, again, kind of a game, that the less experienced is a journalist who wants to know everything about the subject, and the more experienced is an expert. So it helps the older one, the experienced one, to teach the younger one. Debate. We may use debate method when we can create kind of opposing ideas. What we did in our classes. What is the best instructor? On one side, okay, students, if you think that the best instructor is the one who is the best pilot and knows everything about aviation, go to the left. If you think that the best instructor is the one who knows all the methods how to teach, go to the right. It's either black, either white. We may use a method when the answer is more or less gray. There is not right answer like either one, either another one. Why do we do it? We make a gamey atmosphere to mobilize their thinking and mobilize their motivation to talk. So first, we give 2 white or black topics. Not topics, but the sentences, thesis. They have to choose right or left. When they go to their sites, you give 1-2 minutes to prepare, to find an argument. Why did you come to that side? You are right, of course. And to their group, you are right as well. Why are you here? Find arguments to persuade the other ones to come to your right side. They prepare, they think of the arguments, and they start debating. One argument from one side, another argument from another side. What do we get? We get all the ideas about the subject, all the possible answers, like situation A or B in the flying. What would you do? Either you do A, either you do B. Choose a side. They choose, and they start debating. It means they analyze very effectively, very actively all the situation, all the possible answers. And then, of course, in the end, we have to summarize everything. Yes, thank you for contribution. Everything was more or less right. Yeah, and right and left is correct. All the arguments, you do not say who is more right, who is less right. We just summarize all the right arguments. If there were wrong arguments, then we may analyze them. Okay, I've heard there was an idea that this or that could be done on the A or B side, but we shouldn't do this because, and then you explain, and then you continue on with the lecture. Think, pair, share. Again, quick process that students would discuss between themselves. After some subject presented, something that was explained, you give them a question. First, think individually, 1 minute. What would you do? What would be your solution? What would be your answer? Then meet your neighbor in couples and agree between yourself. Maybe you have 2 different ideas. Okay, so prove to the other one that is which one is the right one. And then you present it to the class, little groups of 2. More or less simple, similar, it's a 3-step interview. First, in pairs, do the same, find a common agreement. Then, next step, pair meets another pair, it means a group of 4, and between 4 of you, agree on the idea. What is the right answer? Or what are the possible answers or solutions to the situation? And the third step is either present to the class, either meet another group. It means making a group of 8 already. And coming with an answers or with a list of the answers from the group of 8 and presenting to the remaining of the class. And the last point, etc. It means all this list is just the primary ideas. How can we interact with the class and how can we make our trainings interesting, effective, and make students learn but not to be taught, that they would absorb the information. Create your methods, find other ones, join them, merge, and make your trainings fun. It means interesting, it means effective. Thank you for your time. If you have questions, ideas, comments, new methods, disagreements with something, please write me, call me, and let's keep in touch. Thank you for the meeting, and that's it. Bye. See you in next trainings.